Dude, like Long Duck Dong says in Pretty in Pink, Tony, what's happening? Hot stuff. I just had a really funny moment with Creative Tony before the show started. By the way, how are the visuals? Just from my head, real quick.
Better. Hot stuff. Sing some hot stuff for me about the Stones, if you could. That'd be good.
Me?
Yeah.
Hot stuff. Can't get enough. Let me get the whole Jagger. Hold on. Let me get the whole thing going. Hot stuff. Shake it up. Can't get enough. Dude, there's a nice little funk groove running through there. But anyway, before the show, we had a little funny moment, and I was laughing during the show open, Tony, because I had a Boogie Nights flashback. Tony was telling me right before the show was about to start, he goes, Paulie Mac, you look all blurry. You got to leave the link and come back. And I go, no, I said, Tony, let me leave the link and come back. And he goes, no, we don't have enough time. And I go, no, I want to look better. I don't want to be blurry on the show. And he goes like this. Tony goes, do it quickly. And I go, okay. So I did it, and then I came back, and here we are. But, dude, when I was waiting for the whole thing to reboot, I started thinking about Boogie Nights, because the scene in Boogie Nights where I'm like a black belt of Boogie. I love Boogie Nights. So in Boogie Nights, Mark Wahlberg is about to shoot his first ever, adult lovemaking scene, and it's with Julianne Moore, and they're shooting the scene, and everything's going great and all this, and then all of a sudden, like the assistant director or whatever, William Macy, is that his name? William H. Macy? Yeah. He comes up to Burt Reynolds and he goes, and he's like whispering because they're going at it, and Macy goes, we're about to run out of film. I got to change reels, and then dude, Burt Reynolds is smoking a button. He goes, do it quickly.
Yeah.
So,
yes, I remember that.
Yeah, he goes, he's like all in hushed tones. Do it quickly, dude. And that was you. You were just getting your Burt Reynolds on with me. Do it quickly.
Well, so anyway, you can't mention Boogie Nights without.
You got the touch.
Oh, and then come on.
Where'd it go? What happened?
You got the power.
Dude, it was so great the other night when you showed the visual, like watching those guys, dude, John C. Reilly with the headband on and the members only jacket. I will tell you this, I'm a product of the 80s. I never owned a members only jacket. Not one, ever. How about you?
Shame on you, dude. I owned a members only jacket. I owned a derby jacket. Come on, man. Did you wear derbies on the East Coast, by the way?
I wore a jean jacket, a denim jacket, Tony, with a Rush patch on it. Okay. Nice. True story. Rex, you might remember that. My Rush patch. Yeah. I don't know
what the derby jacket is, Paulie. Do you
derby jacket? I might not. I might not by name. No.
I think it's just in San Francisco. I think it's just a San Francisco thing, actually.
Okay.
But they're old.
Show it.
Let's see. I don't know if this does it justice, but I'll show it to you real quick. Stand by.
Hey, follower 95. Yeah, 795. Love making. That's what I'm going to say. Because we are broadcasting live on Cron 4 too, so I don't want to upset the powers that be. Oh yeah, those are like the WPOD jackets. I called those.
Yeah, dude, these are sweet. The derby is. I think it's made in San Francisco. Actually, now that I think about it. So that they're great jackets.
When I was in junior high school in San Francisco, shout out Roosevelt High, go Trojans, Tony, go Trojans. Nice. Trojans ball, dude, it's coming back. Geary and Arguello. When I was at Roosevelt Junior High, all of the young like WPODs, like in training, all of like the young WPODs, that was the name of one of the gangs. They all used to wear those jackets with Ben Davis pants. Do you remember the Ben Davis pants? That was like the outfit. That was the uniform. Do you remember the WPODs, or is that too much for you?
No, I do. And there was definitely like a uniform, or I don't know if you call it a uniform or an outfit, definitely. But it's a great jacket. They still make them, dude. My brother-in-law has one, and they're also making derby vests now. And I just confirmed it is Derby of San Francisco. So they originated in San Francisco. So shout out to the derbies.
And it's funny, we're talking about garments, we're talking about fashion. Obviously, Tony and I always setting that we're on the cutting edge of all the fashion trends. We set the trends generally. Tony, I'm noticing that you're not properly attired for Aerobic Tuesday. Here's a chance to defend yourself. I'll let you speak to your own defense. Go ahead.
I got nothing except that I'm just remote and I forgot my robe. And I apologize wholeheartely because this is probably the third time I've forgotten, and it's shame on me, man. So I need air slaps. I need.
Here they come. Here they come. Here's another one. Backhand. Yeah, good. You're set. Okay, good.
Yeah. So I apologize, but Paulie, thank you for repping strong. I'm just gonna leave a robe up here.
Yeah, just hang one on a hook, so it's always there. Yeah.
I am thoroughly enjoying doing the show from here. It's like I have my studio back at KMBR. It's nice to, you get cabin fever working from home all the time. At least I do. So to get out of there and do it is great. So thank you to Neil Donardi Longbridge Pizza for letting us. Paulie, we got some news coming down at the bottom of the hour. We've got Jimmy Butler news. We got Robert Saleh. They're not even news anymore, but we got to react to this stuff.
We do. We have a national championship to talk about. We have another Golden State Warrior game tonight. They win last night. They're going right back at it again tonight. Their 7th back-to-back of the year. Thanks, NBA. Thanks so much for that. Tonight, in comes the Toronto Raptors. They had another big win last night. Warriors, in spite of the – maybe we should start right there. Why don't we just start with Jimmy Butler? Going to be totally honest with you, Tony. I did not – keep a close eye on the Warriors last night. I was consumed by Indiana Hoosier football and David Bruce tweeting from the game and all this. Like, D. Bruce was having a time of his life. And I appreciate that. Like, I can appreciate a school, an alumni group, of student body that's never had a taste of that before. Like the biggest stage in the game, and suddenly – they're a 16-0 team. They had a perfect season. Like it's an incredible story. What were your reactions? I mean, I know some of the purists don't like this. There aren't the old school, like blue blood, kind of where's Alabama? Where's all these, these programs? Where's Georgia? But it's the times they be a change. And shout out Bob Dylan. You better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone because the times they are a changing. Anyway, I'm cool with it. How do you feel about this new landscape, Tony, in sports?
Turning face is strange. Changes. Paulie, the reason those schools existed for so long because there wasn't a setup like this where teams had to go out and actually play the games to prove how good they are in clutch moments, dude. I love that we had a 10 seed in the championship in Miami. I felt good about Indiana winning the game, but I also loved the games leading up to the national championship, man. So
now. Are you speaking specifically about the Indiana games or the whole landscape? Like
the whole landscape, landscape, like the Ole Miss little run that Ole Miss went on, and
James Madison. Though, see, some people don't like the fact that those teams were there and then they just got rolled right over like that.
I understand that. I mean, they could maybe review that in the off season, but I still like the playoff format. Extend it to, if you want, make it a bigger format. Make it, I don't know, just extend it, add more teams. But I like that the teams have to go out and play football instead of just a group of dudes getting in a room and saying they're number one. Okay, they're number one because I said they're number one.
Yeah, yeah.
Show me, prove it. On the field. And Indiana, tip of the cap, 16-0. They did it, dude. They proved it on the field, man.
Incredible. And the thing that just jumped out at me watching Indiana throughout the whole playoffs, where let's see, they beat up, they blew out Alabama, they blew out Oregon. You know what I mean? They beat Ohio State during the regular season, and it kept coming back to me like this team is hyper focused and hyper disciplined. Like they actually had a false start last night. That was a key moment in the game too. Late in the fourth quarter, they were trying to ice the game, and I think it was their guard. It was their guard who twitched and had a false start. They had to back him up. But also, dude, Signetti, like the whole story. How about the fact that he pulls his field goal unit off the team and then says, no, I'm going to go for it on fourth. And then the kid has a scramble like right out of a Disney movie, like lunging for the end zone with the ball out. Like that is total Hollywood stuff. I wouldn't have believed it unless I saw it with my own eyes. It really was. It was like a Hollywood motion picture, man.
I was laughing last night because you mentioned probably extremely well-coached team, Indiana. And you got to give credit to Miami too and Cristobal too. I mean, his post-game comments, Cristobal, outside the locker room were
I actually didn't see him. I didn't see his post game. Can you share some of that with me? Because I missed him.
Just very humble and also very sad and very emotional about how much he loved his guys, but he also was very complimentary to Indiana. And it was really a classy. I was not expecting that. It was really a classy post game interview. And I also loved Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin.
Dude,
sorry, guys.
Michael Irvin was on the field for the coin flip. Did you see that? He walked out with the captains. This guy, I can't. We talked about him yesterday. They just lampooned him on SNL. They did a Michael Irvin like parody. And there he is, dude. He's out there with the captains flipping the coin. Like, I don't know how much more involved he could be.
Hold on a second, man. I apologize. Neil Donardi just walked into the room and left something and then left. So he dropped something off in the room. I need to go get it, Paulie, for a second. Okay, and I'll be right back. It's literally right here. Stand by.
Okay.
If you can hold the show down for a second.
I will. I hope this is a show and tell thing. I don't know what he's about to present. I hope it's not some food item too, because that's going to drive me crazy. That's a weird thing about doing the show at high noon every day. We're working right through the lunch break. You know what I mean? So by the time the show ends, I'm always ready to eat a horse. I don't know what he's going to bring up, but if it's maybe it's a robe. I bet you it's a robe. Neil Hurd, I bet you that. So I'm going to call it right now like Babe Ruth. I'm pointing towards the outfield fence. Neil Hurd, Tony forgot his robe. He rushed upstairs. There's going to be, I called it. There it is. Nice. Dude. Oh, dude. What? Okay. Holy smokes. What do you, perfect for, throw your headphones on so you can hear me. Yeah. Dude,
oh boy,
that's like perfect for the Bob Weir tribute that we need to do. Like, because that's basically what Bobby was wearing on stage. You know what I mean?
This is incredible, dude. It's a Grateful Dead poncho.
Yeah,
it is just. Oh man, this thing's incredible. So I'm gonna have to buy this thing off Neil. Holy Lord, and it's so comfortable. I'm pro poncho, by the way. I love a good poncho, man. So thank you to
so did Bob Weir.
Yeah. Wow. We talked about style early on in the show, Paulie, in a few minutes of the show. You want to talk about somebody whose style I loved was Bob Weir's, because he was all about comfort, y'all.
Or comfort, Daisy Dukes. I mean, he really was. He did it all. By the way, Mark Weisman checking in. Poncho Tony, wear that tonight to our draft. He said.
We have our Little League Majors draft. It's the last draft of my son's Little League career tonight, man. I'm very emotional.
It's the last draft. The last draft for love. All right, Tony, your last draft tonight. Now that turns into a big excuse to have a couple cold beers, I would think. Probably.
Oh, definitely. And the league pays for it. They cater the event and provide beverages as well. And we got like 11 rounds tonight of player draft tonight.
Geez. Christ.
And my role on the Little League board is to run the draft. So me and my buddy Jordan Trott, we run the draft as the.
Let's be honest. Should we be entrusting you to that kind of responsibility? That sounds like a very serious responsibility for a guy like you. I don't know. What do your response?
I'm in too deep now, buddy. This is my second week.
I've gone too far to turn back. Yeah.
Oh, dude, you should see. We got spreadsheets. We got rankings. We got all kinds of like rules that we got to go over. We got to.
Now, what happens? Let me ask you this uncomfortable question, because I'm sure you're going to be in a situation like this tonight. You're sitting over there where you got Marky Wiseman, all these other dudes are on the board. Tony's on the board and all this. And you're evaluating kids and you're looking at your graphs and you're looking at your charts. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys on the board's kid comes up in the evaluation, and you know deep down this kid can't play ball, can't do it. But because he's a son of a guy on the board, now we got to elevate him. Oh no, the glove is really coming along. He's been hitting great. I mean, do you have to embellish in order to save the feelings and ego of some of your fellow board members? Tony, I'll take all your responses.
No, Paulie, that's why we have the evaluations where all of the coaches are there to rank the kids on their own. And then any board member is invited to attend the evaluations if they'd like to. So
how many members on this board? How many members are we talking about?
Too many. I think we're over 30. You know? Yeah.
30?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to get anything done. This is going to be a mess. This whole thing's going to be a mess.
Tonight's only the coaches and the player agents. That's it. So, and I'm a player agent. That's my board role. So that's the draft tonight.
Don Peralta asking, will Farhan be there? Legitimate question.
Dude, I sure hope not. But but I will say, draft strategies matter in these. You got to all 12-year-olds must be drafted. By the way, that's a rule. So if it's your last year in Little League, you got to be drafted. So you got to make sure that all the 12-year-olds get drafted, and then you go from there to the 11s and 10s. And we have 88 spots for majors this year, like that we have to fill, and 54 of them will be filled by 12-year-olds. So not a lot of open spots for the younger kids. So we'll see what happens tonight, buddy.
A lot of excitement and speculation now is just exploding in the chat line, basically because of the garment you just put on. Big Al asking a pretty legitimate question. Big Al wants to know will you wear that poncho when we have PMP night out at a Giants game again this year? Because we'll probably do that event this year. Yeah.
Yes, Paulie. I don't know if Neil's getting this thing back. I got to think.
I don't think he is. Yeah. I don't think he is. Sorry, Neil. And I think it was meant to be. Is that something he would actually wear? I could see Neil wearing that.
I could see him wearing it too, but I love ponchos, number one, and it's so comfortable because I've always, Paulie, I like the free flowing clothing. I hate socks. I hate pants. I hate shoes. Give me something free flowing, and maybe I will wear this to the draft tonight. And I'll definitely wear it to the next PMP hang for sure.
A lot of speculation. The speculation continues. Another question from the audience. Here comes one from Rags in New Jersey. Tony, will you be commando underneath the poncho tonight at the meeting? Legitimate question. I know Rags would be. What's the matter? You afraid? You scared?
No, definitely not. Because, like I said, beers are involved, and people get into this draft, man. It's like there's concentration. Like there was like, do we have a draft clock or do we not have a draft clock? Then it's discussions about player rankings and draft strategies, and it's wild, man.
I gotta say, if I could encourage some bad behavior right here, I want you to consider this, Tony. If now you remember, I don't know about you. I think we've talked about this. I'm pretty sure you're on board. I think this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Netflix came out with this movie about the early days of Motley Crue called The Dirt. It was basically like the film version of that book. It was a very famous book. And, it's one rock story after another, TV's out the windows, groupies, the whole thing. In that movie, they depict a scene from the early 80s where Ozzy was on tour with Motley Crue as his opening band. What a show that must have been, by the way. Ozzy was touring on Bark at the Moon, and the Motley Crue guys had just put Shout at the Devil out. So nice little bill right there. I didn't go to that show. I don't know what my problem was. I missed that tour. Anyway, in the movie, Ozzy comes down to the pool. They're at this hotel somewhere. All the Motley Crue guys are hanging out drinking. Ozzy comes down, and he's wearing one of Sharon's like night dresses, like a bathrobe almost, because she used to hide his clothing, thinking that if I hide all of Ozzy's clothes, he won't get dressed after the show, go down and get drunk and get arrested and pee on the Alamo and all the stuff Ozzy used to do, bite bats. So anyway, Ozzy walks down to the pool. He's wearing, and this is my question. Here comes the question within the story. When Ozzy walked down to the pool, he saw the Motley Crue guys, and he's wearing like Sharon's dress, and he goes like this. He goes, and he like lifts his dress up so there's nothing there. It just flashes the entire band. Will you do that tonight at the board meeting? That was my question.
I would think it would take a few pops for me to do that first, maybe a few pops, and if I get those into my belly, then maybe I might do it. But I have Ozzy's response.
Oh no, please God help me.
Oh boy, fun times.
I'll report back on the draft tomorrow and tomorrow night's night flight. We'll have all of the San Carlos Little League Giants will be assembled. The roster will be assembled by the next time we do a show tomorrow night. So,
okay, Tony, couple quick things here. I want to talk about Jimmy Butler a little bit, but we got a bunch of supers. Why don't we handle some business? Then we'll talk about supers, and we're going to meet a brand new friend of the program today. Where I'm very happy. We're going to introduce to everybody in the PMP familia my good friend Tom Stack. He's just signed on with PMP as our newest sponsor. He does real estate primarily in the East Bay. We're going to meet him a little bit later. And he happens to be, by the way, he has been a friend of mine for a long time. Tony grew up with him too. And he is a card-carrying member of the Grateful Dead family. Like, he used to work for the band. He was telling us the other day, we had a meeting with Tom. He was telling us, ready for this one? I was like, this is the kind of thing that makes my head explode. He was like, yeah, you guys, I was at the last show at Winterland in 74. I'm like, wait, whoa, dude, stop it right there. Last show at Winterland in 74. I'm like, damn it. So anyway, Tom Stack will be with us a little bit later on in the program. But Tony, why don't we do some supers, and then we'll talk a little Jimmy Butler, because I got a few things I want to say about that, about Butler.
Supers, and also here's a tease for Tom Stack. Just wait until you hear how many shows he attended. Just wait to hear that number. That's mind-boggling. So hang on. Stand by. Business time.
Oh, yeah. It's business time.
All right. Do you want the long, too? Do you want the long version,
too? I always want the long one. Always.
There we go.
It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
you know what? I don't think that's ever going to get old in my mind.
No, I love it every day. I walk around my house singing it, actually. It's business. Yeah. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. Like, I can't get it out of my head. It's a great hook.
You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh, here we go. Escobar Cheeks the third is the first super of the day, and he says, dead poncho. Yeah, dude. That's basically what Neil Donardi brought up for me on this Roby Tuesday. This may have to become my new robe of the because I remember I had the beach towel robe / poncho.
I do.
This might replace that. So thank you.
That's what you wore to the Giants game last summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the poncho. Yeah.
That's when that is when Humdinger 87 and I, Leah Phillips, were on a Lime scooter cruising to the ballpark. And I had the poncho on. So
look at Will Sparks now. Look at Will Sparks jumping over the railing to scold me about Grateful Dead. All right, Will Sparks, let's go head to head on this one. You want to take me on? Let's go. Let's go. The last show at Winterland when the band took a hiatus, Holmes. Come on. I didn't think I had to clarify that for a minute. You don't think I know that they closed at Winterland in 78? You don't think I know that? You don't think I know the Blues Brothers open? Come on, man. Come on. Who are you talking to? I'm talking about the last show is 74. What was it? 10/19/74? Come on, Will Sparks. You're better than that. You know me. I know what we're doing here. Let's settle it down now. Settle down. All right, Tony, go ahead. Back to the
careful with Will Sparks, man. He works with knives, man, and he donated a knife to the PMP party in December, man. He's got blades, man. Careful. Careful.
Listen, see, Robot Centaur is trying to issue a friendly warning. Don't start on this, Will Sparks. Let's not go down a road we're all going to regret. You know what I mean? Don't make me have to go on a rampage. And by the way, I'm hoping that that when Will Sparks is like on a call, like with a new potential client, I hope he does like Robert De Niro in The Fan. Pulls his leg pant up and just starts shaving hairs off his calf. Do you remember that? Dude?
Yeah,
De Niro just shaving hair off his leg. Hey, look how sharp it is. And he's just shaving the hair off his leg. Anyway, I hope that's one of your go-to movements, Will Sparks.
Stand by. The second super is we don't need no sneaking badges. Greg, thank you for the super, brother. He says, here's a hot dog money for the last kid draft. Oh, nice. Here's hot dog money for the last kid drafted. Dude, right on, man. Hey, a lot of the times, Greg, aka Stinking Badges, I want the kids to have fun, and wins and losses aren't as important. And I want to draft good kids, good families, and all that stuff. So, different teams have different strategies. And so, last kid drafted, I love it, man. Well, I'll buy him a hot dog on opening day. Okay.
When was the last time you actually ate an actual hot dog, a Frank, if you will, Tony?
Oh God. God. Yeah, 15 years ago, probably. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, well, we don't have to go into it, but yeah, 15 years ago, Paulie.
What was your go-to? What was like your go-to dog? I'm a Nathan's guy. I like Nathan's. Those are my favorite.
Nathan's is pretty good. Although, dude, just a ballpark Frank. What's wrong with a ballpark Frank?
Tony, a Frank. Yeah, I mean,
how about the name Frankfurter? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Frankfurter. Yeah.
Dude, like the next time you say, like, yeah, we're gonna have some Frankfurters. That'd be good if you said that. Like, come on over. I'm gonna grill up some Frankfurters, right?
Yeah, totally.
Escobar Cheeks the third, another super. He says Commando, like Ed Hockey in his judge's robe, dude. Nice. And Commando, I don't think I can do it, man, because I need to, I don't know. I did Commando at the Fish New Year's Y2K show, 99 to 2000. I wore a skirt, the long ankle skirt.
Commando underneath that?
Yeah, and it was wonderful.
No kidding.
It was wonderful because, the skirt went down to my ankles, and so it wasn't a big deal. It was just
Where's that skirt now?
It was Carol's skirt. Remember Carol?
Of course I do. And why wouldn't you want to go back and wear that skirt again, given how comfortable it was?
I would, but she owns it. She has it. So I'd have to get in touch with Carol.
She took it back after you wore it? She goes, give me that back?
Well, yeah, because it was her skirt, but it was just a long skirt that we bought in the lot. It was one of those corduroy patch.
Listen, I'll tell you what I'll do. I could probably make this happen today if I want to. I could run down to 4th Street on San Rafael. We got a couple of those like Tibetan stores, and they have like a lot of hippy dippy, crunchy kind of clothing and stuff down there. What if I pick up a new skirt for you?
Fine.
And I just say, here you go, T. You're all set now.
Sure. I mean, the poncho.
Dude, maybe we'll both get skirts. You know what I mean?
I like the long, loose, flowing ones that go down to like your above the ankle, right? And they're like corduroy patch skirts and patch pants made by the hippies in the lots.
Quick side note. This is for you, Rags, and you really only on this one. But I swear to God, true story, no big deal. But I remember I was at RFK for a Grateful Dead show, 6/25/93. I'm in the parking lot. I'm hanging out before the show. I look over, and here he comes, Rags. Hadn't seen him in years. You remember Mick Ryan? Do you remember Mick Ryan? He came walking over. He was wearing a skirt. This is the guy we went to high school with. Tony, I hadn't seen him in years, and I ran into him at a Dead show, and he had a skirt on. And I got to tell you right now, I was kind of envious. I was like, boy, that looks comfortable, man.
So you've never worn a skirt ever?
No.
Okay, we're gonna have to 2026. I'm gonna get you in a skirt, buddy. Okay.
Right. Nutter is saying Paulie looks like he belongs in a kilt. I'll throw a kilt on. I'll tell you this, a little more trivia.
Kilt's a little bit of a that's high mid thigh. We're going or above the knee.
You're going above the knee. You're going above the knee, and let's not forget, you also have to have the dagger kind of taped to your calf. You got the dagger, bro.
And you're definitely going commando on a kilt, like
out of
respect.
I don't know. I don't know if you, excuse me, out of respect for whom? Out of respect for
tradition. Isn't that the tradition? The Irish kilt, you don't wear anything underneath it. I'm pretty sure you don't wear anything underneath it.
Well, again, I don't want to nitpick on the whole kilt community, but I do think it's more of a Scottish thing, Tony.
Scottish.
It's okay. It's okay.
Correct.
But also, I will say
that's the tradition, Paulie. I think that's tradition.
I can't look at Low Steve saying Roddy Piper. He wore the kilt. I'll tell you this. You know who else wore the kilt? Axl Rose was wearing a kilt on stage for years. If you remember that, he used to wear the kilt. And then the aforementioned, we've been talking about him for the last couple of weeks. When Bob Weir married Natasha, he was wearing a kilt. He got married in a kilt. Yeah,
of course he did. And by the way, just to know what AI says about kilts, dude, it says. The tradition involves specific accessories like sporans, which are bags, belts, and kilt pins with a common, though debated for modern hygiene, traditional practice of quote unquote going commando. That's literally what it says.
Nice.
Literally what it says. Let's keep going with the supers before we get to Tom's back. And we haven't even talked Saleh yet, dude, and I'm not happy with Bob Saleh, by the way.
I wasn't happy with him yesterday. I don't know if you remember on the show yesterday, I lost it a little bit on Bob Saleh. I was really pissed off that he was taking meetings and interviews during the week, bro. Finish. How dedicated to this job are you if you're not even focused on the game and he's doing 2 interviews on a Thursday before he's got a playoff game on a Saturday? That rubbed me the wrong way, too. But finish your supers and we'll dive into that.
In the Motley Crue song, Use It or Lose It, Sweet Pain is the name of the game. Like, I feel like Bob Saleh used the Niners, just used us like a piece. I don't know, a trash receptacle.
Like Kinnicky used Rizzo with the 25 cents insurance policy that he talked about.
Exactly, man. Yeah. Stand by on that note, right?
Rules are there ain't no rules.
Okay, and I know Bob Saleh.
Let's be honest. I do think that Kinnicky did use Rizzo in that sequence there. Yeah.
That's why Kinnicky kind of had it coming to him, man. He had a little bad karma. So
what did he have coming? The pregnancy or the car door to the head or both?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. You know?
But Rizzo, dude, when Rizzo comes down on that Ferris wheel and she goes, I'm not pregnant. Dude, and Rizzo is like, he's back to his old self again. He's carefree. He's loose. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just give me Sandra D in the leather pants. That's all I want.
And by the way, let me just
Paulie, tell me about it. Stud
smoking butts, putting them out with the shoe. Yeah. Let me ask you this though, Tony. I got to be honest with you. When I saw Grease as a kid at the Alexandria Theater on 18th and Geary, that's where I saw it multiple times. Once they start getting into the whole pregnancy thing, I'm like, wow, that's some pretty adult content. I was like 10, dude, when that movie came out. 10 years old.
I didn't know what the phrase "bun in the oven" meant, and they're whispering it to each other. Rizzo's got a bun in the oven. Rizzo's got a bun in the oven. I was like, what the hell does bun in the oven mean?
Dude, it goes through the whole school in like 30 seconds. Rizzo's got a bun in the oven. Rizzo's got a bun in the oven. And these guys are just turning and passing it. I don't know if anybody out there likes Grease as much as we do. Obviously, you can see we're pretty carried away with it. Yeah.
Hang on. We got to finish the supers and then we'll keep carrying on. And
Rizzo's got a bun in the oven. Rizzo's got a bun in the oven. Yeah.
We got to talk Saleh at some point today, and Jimmy Butler too.
I want to talk Butler. I'm ready. Yeah.
Let's see. Stinking Badges again. How does Tony feel about our kilts? Well, I love a kilt. If you got to do it like traditional, go commando, right? Hey, Greg, thank you so much for the super, brother. Dom Peralta checking in as a super. He says, San Carlos Little League Giants alumni shout out. Oh, dude, Dom played for the San Carlos Little League Giants. There's particles right there, dude. Particles right there.
Nice.
That's incredible, Dom. Yes, I will keep you posted. And my son, Dom, and Dom Peralta, both San Carlos Little League Giants. That's freaking rad. I love it, Dom. That's what it's supposed to happen the way it's happening. Patty from Napa is a super, and she says the robe looks great. Excited about Tom Stack. We are finally home from the run. Great, Patty. Hopefully you did a post-run stretch. The post-run stretch is just as important as the pre-run stretch.
And a little post-run hydration, maybe a little post. I don't want to overstep any lines here, but maybe I'm just saying a little afternoon delight. You know what I mean? A little post-run makeout session, maybe. I don't know. I'm just feeling it.
Pre-shower or post-shower?
Well, now that you're getting old, that's a little too suggestive. I don't. You know what I mean? That's up to y'all. That's between you. My name's Paul. That's between y'all. Okay. Also, want to shout out Big Al in Chico again, dude. He's coming back with "Let's Not Sleep on Cha-Cha DeGregorio" or whatever her last name is.
DeGregorio, Cha-Cha DeGregorio, the best dancer at St. Bernadette's. With
do you still have access to the Cha-Cha slaps?
I'd have to dig.
I think you should have that on hand at all times, Tony. I think that's going to be one that I'm just being honest because we call for that a lot. I think that you need to retrieve it. You need to save it. And put it in your little bank of other videos that you keep because we need it a lot. Yeah, Noemi, that's kind of what I was suggesting. But that's between Mikey and Patty. I don't know. I'm feeling very loose today. Maybe it's the robe. I don't know what. I'm feeling very spicy. Tony,
dude.
Big Al. He had the great reference, dude. And I don't know if Big Al was with us when we had that thing months ago when we did a whole feature on her. I want him to make sure he knows that we know. Here we go. Okay.
I did a quick search, so stand by. Here we go.
Okay.
By the way, she's supposed to be like a senior in high school.
Beautiful. Dude, she's like 33 right there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute. Who is it? Crater Face doing the slapping or Kanicki? I do forget.
I think it's Kanicki, dude. Kanicki's the one that does the slapping.
I think it's Crater Face.
We had this discussion before, dude.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. All right.
Yeah. And this isn't the right clip because this is before it happened. By the way, look at Lorenzo Lamas in the back.
I see him. It's a great look at the other guy to the right. Look at the guy, the teacher to the right of a Travolta right there.
Kind of looks like Don Knotts right there.
Nice call, man.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find the air slaps. Okay, let me dig for the air slaps because let's finish the these supers, Paulie.
You have me legitimately laughing. Go ahead, do the super.
Sorry, man. Sorry. Okay, and Patty from Napa says forgot to add cheers to Rags. Cheers to Rags. Okay, cheers to Rags. I like it.
Cheers to Rags. Take care of that hand, Rags. You without a right hand. I mean, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Rags has a problem with his hand. We got to get that straightened out.
Nice. And then we got Joseph Cicchini says, let's lighten up the mood. I hear Carol. I'm thinking the perfect 36 Carol Dota. Yeah. And if you want to laugh, listen to the Scotsman from Dr. Demento. Wow, dude. Oh my God, Dr. Demento. That's a great reference, man. Joey Cicchini, thank you for the Superman. And yes,
Joey C. That's Joey C right there. He's one of the all-time greats, flipping pies, dropping knowledge. Love you, Joey C. Thanks for supporting the show, brother. Okay, are we still going, T?
Yeah, no, that's it. Thank you so much for the supers, everybody. Much love.
Okay, so just real quick on Jimmy Butler. I mean, it's just such a big disappointment. You know, the Warriors, meanwhile, they get another big win last night. They're 25-19 on the year, Tony. They're 7-3 in their last 10. It is going in the right direction, and down goes Jimmy Butler. Yep. Torn ACL. He's done for the year. Where do they go from here? Honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, that's a really significant blow. Obviously, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday, Jimmy Butler. I believe he will be. And, you know, now you're kind of skimming it down to, you know, you got Steph, you got Draymond at the core there. Is the supporting role enough? Like, what do they do? How do you feel? And I just feel bad for Butler. I know how hard he works. He's played in 91% of all the games scheduled since he's come to Golden State. So the guy's a workhorse. He doesn't miss time unless it's serious, and this is serious, obviously, with the ACLT.
Dude, it's totally serious, man. It bums me out, too, because I'm a Butler head. I love Butler. I love everything about Jimmy Butler, especially since he's come to the Warriors.
He did the hair thing last week. Remember how happy we were just talking about his hair and all that?
And I just love the way he plays the game. I love his kind of vibe and how he delivers like a deadpan kind of humor.
Me too. He's a very weird dude. He's a weird dude, man. But
he loves his coffee. He's going to be deeply, sorely missed. And I don't know, man. The season is pretty much. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I think the season's kind of it's not over because they're playing good basketball. When you lose Jimmy Butler and you got this whole Kuminga thing, and then I just don't think it bodes well unless Lacob says I got to make a trade and makes a big ass trade, which I don't think he'll do. Now they keep Kuminga probably and then give Kuminga more minutes. I'm guessing that's what they're going to do. And then in the offseason, they say, okay, dude, it could be very common themes between the Warriors and the Niners in their off seasons about the window's closing. The window is closing. All in. Warriors, all in. Niners, all in. Steph Curry, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, like these superstars that are in the Bay Area for only a certain number of years, if not maybe one more year or 2 more years after that.
Yeah.
Not Purdy, but I'm talking about the other, like McCaffrey. Dude, I was talking about Uncle Paul earlier today. He thinks Trent Williams might retire.
I don't think Trent. I want to go back to Jimmy. I don't want to lose track of that. I want to get back to that. But I will say this about Trent. I think I saw a couple of quotes from Trent Williams after the game, and he basically said he will be back.
I hope so.
He said he will be back unless he changes his mind in the offseason. But I think he's got more football in him. I think he'll be back too. And that's an interesting question. Write this down. Which of the two franchises has more of a closed window than the other? I think the Warriors, it's really closing rapidly now without Jimmy Butler, unless, like you said, unless Lacob decides to pull some crazy levers. You know, the one thing I thought might have been a possibility for the Warriors at least a couple of years ago, because there was enough talk about this that I started getting interested, and I'm like, boy, I'm hearing this a lot. And usually when you hear something over and over and over and over, there's some truth in the middle of that somewhere, and that would have been Giannis coming to the Bay. Now he's still in Milwaukee. There's still talk that, you know, there something could happen with him where he could find a new home. And I think he would be a perfect fit for the Golden State Warriors, but I don't know. I mean, now they're going to have to consider all kinds of stuff. What do you think the reality of that is, or the likelihood of that is? Like Lacob, like pulling some like crazy lever to get another big time player in here.
He would be an amazing fit. And the Bucks are 18-24, man. That's not exactly like it's fun in Milwaukee right now. And the other night, and we had a note to talk about this, we never got to it, about how the Bucks were booing the fans were booing the Bucks. Giannis turned around and started booing the fans. And it's like, you want to talk about a bad scene that he probably wants to get himself out of.
Yeah,
the Milwaukee situation. So if Lacob were to pull something like that, then just tip of the cap, Joe, and go do your thing and make stuff happen. But I don't know. It's a pretty big deal. That'd be amazing to see Giannis in the Bay.
Yeah, and I'm seeing this idea repeated multiple times. Little J is saying it. Los D is saying it. The San Jose Sharks are probably the Bay Area team with the biggest upside right now. Mm-hmm. Young talent growing together. Los D, I second all that. What an exciting season they're giving us right now. And you know what's so funny about it? I got to be honest. Like Tony, I'm like a great example of, you know, there was a time in my life when hockey was my favorite sport, where I was a lunatic hockey fan. I've cooled off considerably, but now that the Sharks are playing good hockey, I'm watching again. I'm just being honest. I've started watching their games again. Like, they are a really fun team to watch, and you can feel the sizzle coming off that the ice when they're playing, man. They're a lot of fun to watch, and it is fun to watch a young team like that gel and grow together. Tony, I'm sorry.
Key word right there, Paulie. Key word you just said. Young team, right? The problem with the 49ers and the Warriors is that they're getting older. Kittle, Trent Williams, McCaffrey, older. Right.
Let me hijack the show real quick, Tony, because you know me, I'm an opportunist, and you open the door. I got to come charging right through. What did you just say the Sharks were? They're a what team?
Young.
It's funny you say young. You know who else is young? The official dentist of the PMP show, Dr. Matt Young. Wow. You see what I'm doing right there? Get us in the mouth, Tony. It's time.
Okay.
That's the guy. That's the guy. Look at him. Is he now modeling in his spare time? Like, what are you even holding up?
Look at this. Look at the smile. Dude,
I see him.
This is the American Association of Implant Dentistry volume issue 4, and it's when he became president of the AAID. The AAID, Dr. Matt Young.
Dude, I'm going to take that picture of Dr. Young right there. I'm going to make up a whole bunch of 8x10s, and I'm just going to start sending them out to Hollywood agents. Let's just see what happens. Maybe we get a couple of offers. I'll start representing Dr. Young. I'll be his agent because I think he's ready for the big screen, dude. It looks like he's modeling now, Tony. The handsome cat that he is. Yes.
And then this is
I see him.
Right? It's just amazing.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Nice shot. They're a lovely family. Let's talk about Dr. Matt Young. He is the official dentist and the official dental home of all of us here in the Polymac Particle community and familia. Anytime you are, now I know a lot of people have gone through hell with their health plans, but if your health plan is still alive and you're looking to make a change in terms of your dental provider, you're going to definitely want to get on down to Dr. Matt Young's office. Thank you. I feel much better in the mouth, Tony. Thank you.
Got to be in the mouth.
Got to be in the mouth. And it brings back like kind of feelings of the Rolling Stones too. All we need is the big tongue flopping out, and we got ourselves a Stones logo. Excuse me. Dr. Matt Young been in business over 25 years. We've talked a lot about him on the program in terms of his personality, his demeanor, how much of a relaxed dude he is, and how well he's taking care of the PMP community. Like that is one of the areas in life where I think it pays to have a friend. It's like knowing someone who's a mechanic. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get screwed if the guy's like a friend or a family relative. That's how it is with Dr. Young, too. You can totally trust him when you go into his office. And again, the great thing I like to talk about is his relaxed, calm, casual, confident demeanor, where he will do whatever you need done to relax you. If you're uptight, like I was for many, many years going to the dental office, I'm not making fun. I totally get it. It can be a nerve-wracking thing going in there. You don't know what's going to happen. You feel bad. They're in your mouth. You're like, hey, look at this. I got another cavity in here. It's like, oh, damn. But anyway, Dr. Matt Young will relax you right away. Whatever that takes, whatever that involves, Dr. Young will make sure you're feeling good. You are relaxed. Reach out, set up an appointment, have them take a look. If it's a checkup, maybe you need a serious procedure, have it done with Dr. Matt Young. 415-392-8611, located in Union Square. Dr. Young's been in the business over 25 years. As Tony showed you in the modeling brochure we saw before the show, he is the president of the American Academy of Implant Dentistry, 490 Post Street, Union Square. Tony, can't say enough good things about my main man, Dr. Matt Young.
Dude, absolutely, man. And I can speak firsthand. I've had a crown put in from Dr. Young. I've had a cavity taken care of from Dr. Young. My two children, Dominic and Olivia, now see Dr. Young. They've had 2 visits with him. Megan has had 2 procedures done with Dr. Young, and they're all happy as can be, and their mouths feel great because of Dr. Young. I did a teeth whitening with Dr. Young.
Nice. You came out of there looking great, by the way. You really did. Like, he really did a great job on whitening up your whole smile.
And the reason I did that is because Olivia and I brush our teeth together, and she'd be like, Dad, God, your teeth are really yellow, Dad.
Yeah, Dad, you're bumming me out. You know what I mean? Your only daughter, you're bumming me out. You're going to be dropping me off at school, and you're going to scare all my friends with that mouth of yours. Yeah.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
So, but everybody super happy with their experience with Dr. Young and the Young Dental Group. And the check-ins from Dr. Young on the kids, on Megan, on myself via text or a phone call. And then also, Paulie, I'm also happy to report that Escobar Cheeks III over the weekend on Saturday, because yes, the Young Dental Group is open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. What other dental group is open on Saturdays, by the way, Paulie?
I don't know
of any.
I don't know. They're all on the golf course on Saturday, Tony, except Dr. Young. He's out there doing work. Why, did Escobar go in for a Saturday appointment?
Escobar went in Saturday with Dr. Young, so he is now checked out the Dr. Young experience. We should ask Escobar if he played any music when he got the headphones, because Dr. Young will give you the headphones and ask for music if you want to listen.
I hope Escobar just walked in and Dr. Young was like, Escobar, is there any kind of music I can get you? And I hope Escobar just went like this, no words necessary. Escobar just went.
Mike Reno. Yeah, hey Doc, can I get some Mike Reno? Can I get some Turn Me Loose? How about Turn Me Loose, Doc?
Dude, do you have Hot Girls in Love? Because I'd love to hear that right now. By the way, Humdinger 87, another one of our great family members. I see you in the chat right now. Good to see you, dear. She says when she goes to the dentist, she likes to ask for the gas to calm her nerves and stuff. I'm the same way. And I don't feel the least bit like awkward about that. Like he knows it's something I need to calm me down, like if we're having a procedure. Yep. It's just my preference. But my point is, yes, Humdinger, he will do that. He will do whatever you request to make you comfortable throughout the appointment. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob Oso, Bearded Bob, back on the chat today. What's up, Bob? And he says, so is it all you can eat with the NO2? And I said, I don't think it's all you can eat, but it's definitely there.
I mean, it's not a dead show. He's not selling balloons. You know what I mean?
No,
he's not walking around Union Square like with balloons. He's providing a service, and the service costs money, as Mike Damone would say, Tony. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny. By the way, the balloon scene is, well, we can't go in there. Not during a spot. But the balloon scene's gotten out of control at shows, man.
It was out of control at the Primus show. There was a guy in a monkey mask walking around with a balloon. It was kind of startling, actually. The guy with the ape mask who was carrying a balloon.
Yeah. He was wearing a Baltimore Orioles jersey on the back.
I thought that was a Giants jersey. That wasn't.
No, it was an Orioles jersey, and it had number 25, had 25 on the back of it, and just said the last name was Primus.
Yeah, and he had an ape mask on. Yeah,
ape mask on, and he's got a balloon in his hand. Anyways, Dr. Young, back to Dr. Young, and he makes going to the dentist enjoyable. Believe me, I'm not just saying that. He makes it enjoyable. The music, the vibe of Dr. Young, and the relaxation. Check it out. Weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays, again, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, open till 7 p.m. on weekdays and open 8 hours on Saturdays. 415-392-8611. 415-392-8611. Or you can email, and they're very quick at responding on email, info@youngdentalsf.com. And the Bills, we'll talk to Dr. Matt Young about his Bills later on, about the new coach, the coaching search.
Yeah,
I heard a rumor that the Eagles might trade AJ Brown to the Bills. There was chatter about that. That would be interesting. So, yeah, we'll see. But anyways, we love Dr. Young, Young Dental Group. Check him out. We love him, and you will too.
Thank you, Dr. Young. You're the man. I will see you soon, and thanks for everything. You know, while we're talking about sponsors, we have a special guest today. I want to introduce this guy to the PMP Familia. And Tony, when we bring Tom in, I want to make sure that he can see how active and involved and the hustle bustle of our comments line. So make sure he can see that, okay? The comments, when we get him on, just tell him what he needs to do to set that up. Because sometimes we get guests and they're like, I don't see any comments.
Think you need to tell him, Paulie, because he's seeing the same thing that you're seeing. What I see is different than what you guys see, because I'm the hub. I'm the hub of the broadcast. You guys,
you're the guy. You wear the pants around here, or in this case, you wear the poncho. You know what I mean? Tony's wearing the poncho in this relationship. Yeah,
this dead poncho I was given by Neil at the beginning of the show might be I don't think he's getting it back, like I said. So.
No, I don't think he is either. And I think he's going to be totally cool with that. Now, I want to say, speaking of the dead, and you get your dead poncho on. My friend here, Tom Stack, he's just signed on to PMP as our newest sponsor, so we're thrilled to have him. He is a broker with Coldwell Banker Realty, and we'll talk about his services. We're not doing like a formal spot today, Tony. I just want to get Tom on and pick his brain a little bit, because he was front and center at the Bobby ceremony on Saturday at City Hall. He was literally, I think he was up in the front with the friends and family. So he had a lot of good kind of perspective and takeaways from that event. Long-time Deadhead, long-time card-carrying member of the Dead family, close friend of Bill Walton, just giving you some kind of highlights about Tom. And I just want everybody, Tommy Peralta's already given him a nickname, Tommy Two Stacks. Hey, whatever works. He's going to get a nickname at some point, so we might as well get the party started today. All right, let's bring him in, Tony. Let's talk to Tom Stack and meet him as we are. Yeah, there he is. What is up, Tommy?
What's up, Tom?
What's up, fellas?
Good.
So for Jimmy, do I rock this or
Yeah,
leave it on. You know,
we'll leave it on for today.
Let's start right there, actually, because Tom is to give you kind of this is the idea today is just some basic introductions, and Tom obviously is a very big fan, a fan and family member with the Grateful Dead, but he's also a sports fan like the rest of us. So yeah, that was really harsh news last night, man. The Warriors have been playing good basketball, Tom, and down goes Butler. So that leaves us in a real precarious spot now.
Well, what do? I mean, you can't trade him because he's going to be he can't play for a year or up to it.
Yeah.
And he's got a monster contract, so we have to trade like for like. Maybe Tony, that Giannis thing isn't too far fetched. Giannis probably makes more than Jimmy, but you know, we have to throw somebody in. Nobody wants Kuminga, so we got to play him. I don't know, man. That whole Chase thing. That's a tough play over there anyway. I went over for the SISH game last Friday, and it's manageable when there's 6,500 people there.
Right.
You know, but boy, I sure do miss Oracle and hopping BART from my house and being home and no bridge. And it's an hour. It's an hour from the Lafayette platform to inside Chase. Yeah, that's public transit, and and I take public transit. That's work, and coming home it's an hour and a half. So it's a challenge, man. Getting in.
So are you going like getting off at Embarcadero and going down?
I get off at Embarcadero, ride the Muni down, and switch off at 3rd there. That if you don't know where you're going, you're going to be nowheresville soon.
Right.
So you have to know how that route works, and I've done that. I came out of Bruce Springsteen show and transferred at the wrong spot, and I didn't know where I was. I'm a 4th generation San Franciscan, and they dropped me off on this corner, and I didn't know where I was. I just said, "I guess I'm calling Uber." I just went home.
Hey, by the way, we're off to a great start today because this is the first time our audience is laying eyes on Tom Stack, and already, Tom, you're getting compliments. I got Patty from Napa checking in saying Tom's background looks killer. How about that? Right out of the gate. Your background kid. Now let's make sure Tom can see the audience. So Tom, right-hand side of your screen, if you go up to the top of the page, you'll see it should say private chat, comments, and recording. Click that comments word, and you should see all of the audience interaction.
I don't have that.
Tony, help him out. What do we do? Because I want Tom to see the hustle bustle. I want him to see
I've never seen what Tom's looking at. So I've always been the hub. I've never been a guest. So I don't know.
This is supposed to happen at sound check.
You can't. Well, you can't see the comments in sound check because they aren't live because we aren't live and you don't have any comments. So
that's all right.
It's kind of impossible.
Don't worry about it. But let's get to business.
We'll relay them to you because so far, dude, and more nicknames. Here comes Sweet Mad Hatter saying new nickname for Tom, Stack Attack. Then we got
that one.
Stack Attack.
I got Stack Attack.
Will Sparks is inquiring about the gold record behind you. He says, "Who's the gold record behind you?"
That's the Marshall Tucker Band, Carolina Dreams, with Heard It in a Love Song and all that.
Nice.
Bonnie Simmons, if you know that name, she's on KPFA now, but as I grew up, she was a KSAN jock and had a lot to do with the A&R part of KSAN when KSAN was the rock and roll station. Right after KMET from LA, it was KSAN.
Yeah.
And I am talking, 72 to 77 about. So Bonnie was a DJ there with a great voice, and I've known her after that, which was an honor. But I ended up selling her house a couple of years back, and she had it downstairs. Bonnie has a record collection somewhere near 5,000 records, and they're alphabetized on shelves.
Damn.
So that was a big thing for her to have to move those and keep them in alphabetical order. So she opened up a drawer. Her records in her work studio was downstairs. Bonnie also she's one of the drivers around Hardly Strictly Bluegrass. So she's busy all year long. She's also the executive director of Bill Graham Foundation.
Nice.
Which had the party at the Fillmore Saturday when we all heard the news about Bobby. We were all together in the Fillmore, which was, I could have been in Trader Joe's, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I was at the Fillmore with people I toured with Grateful Dead staff and family, with all the old Blue Coats, who is it?
We got to give the backstory of Tom.
I should say this too, and we'll kind of fill in the blanks as we go. But Tom is obviously he's a very active member of the community. He loves the music scene, and Tom himself.
We'll finish the Bonnie story. I'll forget it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not smoking right now.
Yeah.
So Bonnie opens the drawer under the stairs.
All right. And
there are 50 gold records.
Wow. Yeah.
Because all the KSAN broke all these bands, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she goes, "What, you want one?" And I went through it. A couple of them were to my taste, but the first Dire Straits record was in there. Ooh. But that's just a white cover kind of. It didn't have a lot of punch, although that record was transformative. She had a bunch of them, but I took two. She gave me two. One was Al Jarreau, and the reason I grabbed Al Jarreau is because Al was my friend Eddie Joe Chavez, who set all the records at Santa Clara before Steve Nash.
Nice.
Al Jarreau was the Chavez boys. There's 6 boys in the Chavez family. They're famous in Marin. They're all Drake High guys.
Nice.
Now Archie Williams. But Al Jarreau was the boys' babysitter.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so I saw that, and I thought Eddie's mom's still with us. All the boys and mom's still with us. So I thought Eileen would love the Al Jarreau record for her house. So I grabbed that, and I grabbed that one, that Marshall Tucker, because it's a great record and one of my favorite bands, and some great songs on it. So it does say awarded to Bonnie Simmons. So we're just to be honest, but it's a cool piece.
Yeah.
And then that one over there, Paul, is the closing of Winterland.
Oh yeah.
12/31/78 to your listener. You were wrong, and I didn't have a chat to fix it. But my first show was in that final run when the band was going to retire.
That's what I was saying. I was like, of course, it was the last Winterland show in 74, and then Will Sparks is coming at me. Whoa, they played the Winterland. I'm like, I know they played the Winterland. He closed in 78. I was talking about before the hiatus. That's what I was saying.
You didn't say it. So here, in Will's defense, it was 10/16, Weir's birthday, to 10/20, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
And I figured I better go see them once before they retire. I had yet to see them.
Yeah.
So I went with a bunch of friends, and a buddy had a ticket. I had a car. I was just turned 17. I was a senior in high school. I was with some friends since 4th grade. And I knew Mama Tried. I knew a couple others. That little Ned Lagan space piece was terrible. But they were good. They were real good. And I checked it off. I saw 10/18/74 was my show. And so that ended up putting me in the movie because I went in on crutches. That's a long story. But I held a crutch up. And at the very end, the last song, I think it's Johnny Be Good.
That's your crutch?
If you look in the crowd, you'll see a crutch flying, and that's
you.
Saw myself. That's
okay.
Me, yeah.
I've seen the crutch. I've seen the crutch for years. I never knew I didn't know you were the crutch waver. I love that. Now, you're getting your first business question right now. Patty from Napa, she says, Tom, question. This is exactly what she wrote. She goes, can you help us sell our house in Havasu? Serious question.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
I believe. Havasu? Yeah, I can. It wouldn't be me, but I have somebody down there.
Okay. See, already we're getting
answers, yes.
We got business bubbling up on Tom's first hit.
Bubble.
Right.
I love it. Tom, also, there's a few comments about how handsome you are. I see in the chat as well.
Right.
Yeah. No. Let's get real. Dr. Young. This is why I don't put my picture up here.
I told you. Dr. Young.
Oh, stop it. I'm out of here.
Look at this guy.
Look at all that hair he's got.
The smile, the hair, the tan, everything.
Way to be, Doc.
Yeah.
The hair, the tan, it's all there. It's all there. Well, very handsome.
Thank you for the handsome.
Tom, tell us about Saturday, man. Now, I was there. I was at the Bobby ceremony. It was. I told everybody yesterday, that it was, for me anyway, it was a very emotional day. It was very beautiful, but it's very emotional. And you sent me some of the pictures from your perspective. I saw you got right up there on the rail. So tell us about some of the people you got to see. I saw Bill Walton's wife. I saw her there, which is really nice to see her. Natasha, Bobby's family. But tell us about your experiences a little bit Saturday.
First of all, I think these moments are easily moments where you'd say, I'm going to watch the stream, or I'm going to, and not me. That had to be attended. I speak of that 10/18/74. I've been listening to the Dead since our English teacher put trucking on the. I went to St. Ignatius in San Francisco.
Yeah, buddy.
And our English teacher, when I was a sophomore, played trucking for us on an old, I don't even want to say a stereo, a turntable with a speaker attached to it. And we listened to trucking, and every verse he would lift the needle. He said, all right, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And what does that mean? And what does that mean?
Yeah.
And we broke the song down. Now, it's not that, quote, cryptical a song, but we broke it down. And I'm like, this is the hippest freaking teacher I think I've ever had.
Totally.
Jim McInerney, I don't know where he is, but God bless him.
Yeah.
So that got me going. So, you become a Deadhead slow but sure, it drips. Because at that age, it was Marshall Tucker. It was the Allman Brothers. The Allman Brothers made me a Deadhead because of the double drummers. So at that age, you just start dripping. Robin Trower's in there. Charlie Daniels is in there. Traffic. I mean, it's a whole diaspora of music. So that's why I had to go to the Grateful Dead one time to see it. And 432 shows, 27 states, 4 countries later, I realized that was a really good move I made by going there. Saturday.
Yeah.
Look, so to my point, I can say it even though it doesn't mean that, but I've known Bobby since high school.
Yeah.
You know, he's been in my life, every iteration of him. The just after the ponytail, right? Clean cut Bobby all the way through to this look, whatever it was at the end.
Yeah.
Robert E. Lee. That I've known the guy since high school. And you know, Lemieux said it. Maybe I've listened to them every day since then.
Right.
So to say he's your brother is an understatement. You know, I mean, he guided us, and I think a lot of the speakers touched on a lot of neat things. I'm doing some writing right now about my experience around Grateful Dead, and I thought I coined it myself, but I put the term wander and wonder into a story I'm writing. And I was out there Saturday, and Nancy Pelosi said Bobby caused us to wander and to wonder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, that, believe it or not, Nancy Pelosi was the first one to make me cry out of this whole deal, which is cool because she went to shows. You know, she went to shows. So I think that, first of all, we needed it.
Yeah.
Second of all, we all needed, you know, as Wavy calls it, good grief.
Yeah.
We all needed a little good grief.
Yeah.
And we needed to be together, because if this ain't it, I don't know what's it. If it isn't over now, you know, I don't know what will make it. Mickey inferred that it was. I didn't see a lot of people because I got there pretty early, and my friend was on the rail, and she said, "Come on down." And I was with 5 women that were no taller than 5'5", the whole group of them. So I had a good sight line, and for me, that keeps it intimate. I was never a be on the rail guy or front row guy because I'm tall and I don't want to bug people. But in this case, screw it, because it kept me with no distractions, right? I could see Mayor and Hart and everybody over on the side. I was stage left a little bit, so I could see everybody on the side. I knew what was coming. My friend knew what was coming. She knows Christine Pelosi, so she kind of had the speaker roster going. So that was pretty cool. So I wasn't bouncing around seeing folks. I did see a few folks after with a plan, but for me, I was going to be selfish. I got a lot of time into these guys. Yeah. And it was important to say goodbye in my way and to get triggered. I needed to cry, you know, like Weir was talking about it before he died, about his way of processing grief. Yeah. 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 And he says, I don't really tend to get really emotional. I just pack them up and bring them along with me. Yeah. And he kind of spoke for me in that moment, because that's what I do. Now, I will tell you, I had some howling wolf moments when Walton died. I'll be honest, by myself in my house, that I had some time there with that one. But with Weir, I was packing him along until I got to the Bill Graham Civic. Because, and another thing about full circle there is, I sold my first Club Dead t-shirts across the street from the Civic under the light. If you're looking at the building on the left, there's a couple of street lights, and that's where I set up my table in December of '84. So to come back to this spot, what is that, 44 years later? Yeah. Say goodbye to the guy, you know, I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, we should tell everybody, actually, Tom. And I want to do one more thing before we say goodbye to Tom today. I want to talk a little bit about the actual work he does. But to your point, those of you in the audience, if you're Grateful Dead fans, and I know a lot of you are, if you remember those Club Dead shirts, the Club Dead stickers, guess what? This is the guy right here. That was Tom Stack. He developed that whole thing. That was his baby. He had all the Club Dead merch, and he was good enough to hook me up with some of that stuff. So I actually have some Club Dead things. And in fact, this Steal Your Face right here next to my Niner helmet, that was a Tom Stack Steal Your Face. And it's a really good one, too, because it's got like metal and it's sturdy. It's badass. But we'll talk, you know, listen, Tom and I, we're going to have Tom on again in the future. We'll talk a lot more about the Grateful Dead, about Bill Walton, because Tom was very close with Bill. I got to meet Bill over the years, too, and what an incredibly beautiful human being. We are going to talk about that. But, Tom, real quick, dude, you're here because we are going to be talking about your services, your real estate services. Now, Tom is a broker with Coldwell Banker Realty. You've been at this for over 20 years. And as you guys can see, the reason I wanted to have Tom come on, talk a little Grateful Dead, but also give a little feel for his personality. Super easy guy to talk to. super knowledgeable guy about the Bay Area, unless he's down near Chase Center. Then he gets lost. He forgets where he is down by Chase. But other than that, you keep Tom away from Chase Center, you're going to be fine. But Tom, let's talk a little bit about the services that you do provide out in the East Bay as a real estate guy. Let's give us some broad strokes today.
Sure. Well, I live in Lafayette, and so a lot of people don't know where Lafayette is. They think they have to fly out to Lafayette, but you just drive 24 through the tunnel, and that takes you up into Walnut Creek. So Orinda is the first city, and then Lafayette, and both of those cities border the freeway. Moraga's out to the right, south a little bit, doesn't have its own off ramp, and then you bump right into Walnut Creek. So that's my footprint. We call that La Morinda. It's a compilation of Lafayette, Moraga, and Orinda. So La Morinda. I work those three cities. I work Walnut Creek. I go 680 a bit, Concord, Pleasant Hill, all the way to Martinez, and then I'll go south a bit, Alamo, Alamo in that area. I'll take them into Danville if need be. But I have people all around the Bay, and that's an important thing to do because you've got to stay with what you know. You're not doing your clients a service to haul them somewhere if you can't find the schools, the parks, the amenities, and you don't know the inside stuff. So when I get buyers that are looking for something out of that footprint I described, I have a person, and I've spent the better part of 20 years working that network. So Marin County, got it. Again, fourth generation city boy, but things have changed over there now. And so though I could drive that town in reverse, I still find people to handle that. And a lot of reasons is, I don't want to be in that traffic every day. And let's get somebody who's got feet on the street, maybe knows of something coming, from an office meeting or what have you. So that's how I serve my people. Real estate agents can get really greedy when they chase commissions and not service.
Yeah.
And you got to chase service. And so you got to know where your boundaries are. As well, I'll work into Oakland. I'll pop the tunnel as well. But you got to know where your boundaries are. Otherwise, you're just chasing money and not help. And in our business, we are so primed to be able to help people. You got deaths, divorce, families are moving. Somebody's got to go. You've got heirs that live in St. Louis and their parents are here. Help me. So that's where I come in. And you can't really mess up in this business or word gets out really quickly, much like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like I can still call, Another Planet or anyone in there, and I can get a good seat to a good show. I pay for them, but I can call. I didn't F up that business either. And if you on a micro level, if you mess up in the Grateful Dead family, I'll buy now.
You're screwed.
Yeah, because all the roadies had Napoleon complexes and they wanted to kick your ass at any moment. So you have to kiss a little and you have to be right and you have to do right. And they know when you're doing right. So you don't have to show it too much. But that's kind of my motto and my ethos and how I would approach it.
Nice.
So that everybody gets service. Like Lake Havasu, I'm not going to fly down there. I don't know anything about that, but I do have a great connection down there. So let's put Patty together with them and get handled.
I love it. And Tom, and again, once we start doing Tom's proper spots, and we'll start doing those later in the week, we'll give you all the contact info. But for Patty for today, if you do want to reach out and talk to Tom, we'll give you the contact info right now, 925-878-9964. You can also shoot Tom an email, Patty, if that's your preference. Just dial it up that way. Let Tom know what's on your mind or whatever your questions might be. We're going to scroll it for you right down here at the bottom of the screen right now. So phone number, our newest partner, Tom Stack, Coldwell Realty in the East Bay. He's obviously, and he's like all our other sponsors in that he loves and cares about the Bay Area, which is meaningful to us too. So it's tom.stack@cbnorcal.com. And again, we'll continue to scroll that and just reach out to Tom anytime. Very easy guy to talk to. Tom, we should mention also that, your love of music, like you've gotten very active with that. You manifested that into producing your own shows. So Tom has produced over 100 shows at the Town Hall Theater in Lafayette. In fact, I played one of those shows with the Freestone Peaches. One of the shows you produced was a Peaches show, and we were all out there. In fact, who you'll probably see in the audience on a regular basis, Tom, is the bass player for the Freestone Peaches, Jeff Faust. He's in the board all the time watching the show. And he's doing business with one of our finance sponsors, Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding, who actually, Tony, we need to give some love to before we wrap today. But, Tony, I'm going to give you final say with Tom. You can wrap it up with Tom. Any final questions for today, Tony? Let him fly.
Well, no, you already talked about. I just think that we talk about the care and the passion, but also Tom knows the Bay Area, born and raised in the Bay Area in San Francisco, and went to SI and knows the Bay Area. Like just the same way we talk about Carlos De La Fuente knows the Bay Area, born and raised. Same thing with Tom. So you're gonna get, if you work with Tom, you're gonna get knowledge and expertise, and then you're also gonna get a tremendous personality and stories. Okay. Like the phone number, Tom's last 4 digits of his phone number are 9964. And then Tom went on to tell us about how, Mike, well, because we mentioned Michael Walter from the Niners, number 99. And how Tom was like, he was your roommate for a while, or
he rented my room. I was a country song when I was 26. My girlfriend left. And what else happened? Oh, I quit my job in the Silicon Valley. My girlfriend left and my best friend died.
Oh,
and I packed up to St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and went down and worked as a bartender with my SI buddy Danny Buick.
wow.
And I lived down there for a year, and I purchased a home with 2 other fellas right out of college down in San Jose. It was a brand new, they were just building it home, one of those.
Yeah.
And so one of the guys I lived with was a roommate of Doug Cosby in college, and Doug was a tight end for the Cowboys for many years.
Hell yeah. He was a good tight end too. He was good.
all pro. And so Mike Walter got cut by the Cowboys at one point, right about when I was leaving. And Doug called Mark, my roommate, and said, Mike needs a place to crash. And Mark's like, well, Tom's moving out. So Mike Walters took my room, and then
nice.
Won a ring that year.
Yeah, hey, Mike Walter could play, dude. I gotta say,
I know. I would have been happier having him as my roommate, because that would have meant games and all that stuff. But
right.
But I'm down in St. Thomas, and I check in with the fellas, and they go, "Yeah, we got a 49er staying in your room." I'm like, "Well, how much is he paying me? Because I'm still paying the mortgage here."
Yeah, totally. Guys, we should also, if we're going to shout out the great 99s and 49er history, someone's got to do it. Might as well be me. Let's not forget. I mean, he was a comet flashing across the sky, but for those 2 or 3 seasons, how dominant he was. Shout out Alden Smith. He also wore 99. Alden Smith. What did he have? Like 19, 22 sacks, like as a rookie or whatever? He was unblockable. And yeah, Justin Smith right next to him. I miss those defenses, Tom. I really do.
Well, for sure. But I mean, he missed them too. He drank his way through the fucking season.
Be nice to Alden. He was a sweetheart. I'm telling you.
I guess.
He was.
But he cost us a couple of years because he couldn't keep his shit together.
Well, he ain't the only one.
Can we talk about Saturday? One other thing I want to talk about Saturday.
Come on.
I was so surprised when the Monks came out.
Yeah.
I was happily surprised. How about that?
Me too. Yes.
If anyone recalls, the last show in the Bay Area, June 4th, 95 at Shoreline.
Yep.
They came out during the drums and space portion.
Yes.
There were quite a few of them. I recall 6 or 8 of them at that point. And in my current condition in that moment, I toured, incessantly, but I did not sign up for that summer tour, mostly because they were all at major size venues, right? Minimum stadiums. That place in Vermont, Highgate, was like 45,000. I mean, there was zero intimacy on that tour, and I just didn't want to do it. I'd already been to Deer Creek. I'd already been to some of these other places. I like to go and check off the venues, just to say I did them. So I didn't want to go to Deer Creek again. Going to Indianapolis in the summer isn't a destination, so to speak. So in that moment when the Monks were doing the drum space, what turned out to be Jerry's last show by the Bay.
Correct.
I was a little too close for comfort with the band and everything. I knew too much. So I knew where Jerry was at, and having them come out in that moment, I felt like that was them with those voices. That was them lifting Garcia up and out of the Bay.
Love it.
To me, it was their way of giving him wings. You don't know what they're saying in Tibetan, but my God, it's powerful.
It is.
And it's almost better you don't know, you know what I mean? And so they flew Garcia up. And when he never came back and saw any of us again, I knew, in fact, that, that's the summer tour when he was getting death threats I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
And parents were giving death threats to Garcia because their daughter or son had run away with the band, right? So it was bad. So having them come out here for Weir was beautiful because they did the same damn thing. Bobby, let's be clear, the casket was right behind the stage. He was there.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So that whole thing about lifting them up again, the Monks have taken both of those guys to higher heights, and it's all because Mickey. It's all because Mickey exposed our world to all kinds of new things and genres and countries and rhythms and percussive beats. Mickey is the Wander and Wonder guy right up there with Weir. Those two guys.
No question. No question. And I appreciate everything you're saying too, because I felt the same way. I had no idea the Monks were going to be there, and they started the festivities with a Tibetan chant and a prayer. And it was like Tom said, I mean, if you weren't there, you can see all the stuff on YouTube. You can find the footage pretty easily. Couldn't understand what they were saying, but you could feel it. Like you could feel what they were transmitting. And it was a pretty holy moment. I mean, I got to say,
this is what I'm talking about, being close. It's almost like you have blinders on. It was me and the Monks. And I closed my eyes and I did my best meditative state with that. I mean, that's what I do when I produce shows. I go for a moment of silence before the show. Those guys brought us all together to the same space so that at that point in time, we could then relaunch and go off into our grievance or our griefs or our celebration or anything we wanted to do. But what we did do was we were all as one in the beginning. And then, as if they didn't need to do it, they came out again and made us all one again. And I'm telling you, that's about as holy as it gets.
That's it's a beautiful idea, beautiful thought. And Tom, you nailed it because I felt the same way. I was a little farther back than you were, but everything you said is on point. Let's wrap it, Tony, with this. Get Tom Peralta's comment up there for Tom to see because it's a nice way to end today.
Here we go. This is a super from Dominic Peralta, the art director. You met Dom yesterday, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
He says, fantastic first PMP hit, Tom. Thank you for sharing great stories. There is a road, and we're all on it together. Welcome to PMP.
Yeah, man.
Let's say this to Dom. It's no simple highway.
Yeah.
Between the dark and the dawn of night, okay?
That's right. Okay, I like that. Okay, you guys okay?
Hey, Tom, maybe Bobby's spirit was looking out for you on Saturday by making sure you still went to the Tower of Power show instead of watching the Niner game.
Nothing is wrong here, y'all. Yeah.
That was true.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, the Tower's old now, man. Okay, they got like a 14-year-old singer now, and it's I don't know.
yeah.
But I would have liked to have been in the Warfield, but I understand that's sold out in
10 seconds. 10 seconds that show was sold out. So
so that's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
I'll tell you the truth. I was so emotionally wrung out at the end of the ceremony. I didn't have enough gas in the tank. I was like, you know what? I'm going home. I'm going to watch the Niners. I'm good. Because you're right. Just being present for the Monks, for Mickey, for John Mayer, for the mayor. Mayor Laurie spoke beautifully. Like I was satisfied, Tom, spiritually at the end of that. Like I was good. Sure. I was all set. Yeah.
I understand a lot of people did that that middle time between those two ceremonies, between the Warfield and downtown. Everybody went to Haight-Ashbury to the corner of Masonic there.
Yeah.
And that gal that runs the store there had Scott Guberman and his band, and they were, quote, dancing in the streets. And they had called Lurie, and he shut down Masonic so that people could dance in the streets. Are you kidding?
It, man. Lurie just gets it.
He gets it. He really does.
My dude, man.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm happy that he's in place. I just love the fact that happened, and it happened so quickly. I can't believe how many people must have rallied to put that together.
Well, there is one person who's getting her flowers online now. She's a dear friend of mine. I met her. She had a big Winnebago, and she a college graduate, but she at Duke University, but she bagged it all and went on tour. So she would come by the Club Dead office south of Market and pick up seconds and things like that and take them out on tour and sell them for me. And that was 98, 97. And anyway, her name's Judy Heyman.
Yeah.
And Judy has worked for Another Planet for quite a while. Nice. Judy is the ambiance director. So she's literally taking the spirit of Bill Graham, the decorative spirit of Bill Graham. And so when you go to outside lands, all those little groves you find with shit hanging from the trees and all that, that's Judy.
Yeah.
When you talk about organizing the altar and all those flowers, Judy.
Yeah.
So Judy has the sensitive touch around all that. And she didn't sleep for 2 days making these calls back east and here and there. 10,000 roses were donated.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That's a chip you got to cash in, right?
Yeah.
And you cash that chip in and you get that chip cashed because you're a righteous person and you're on your game and people will say yes to you.
Beautiful.
And this is the seed she's planted with Another Planet. So shout out Another Planet for getting it on. For
no question. And thank you, Judy. Thank you, Another Planet. It really was a beautiful day. There were no problems. Everything flowed wonderfully. And Tom, listen, bro, it's great to get you on the show today. Great to get you to meet everybody. We're going to say goodbye. I guess, Tony, you got one last thing?
Yeah, because Tom and I spoke earlier this morning. First of all, Tom, we just talked about Donna, that you wanted to mention Donna.
That'd be nice. If you guys have a minute, that would be nice.
Yeah.
And then on the way out, I wouldn't mind getting your thoughts on Bob Saleh. Just talk Niners for a quick second on the way out. Yeah.
Donna Jean and I have been close for shit. I met her at the Maritime when she came out in '99 for the what we called it, the Philharmonia. Yeah. It was at Maritime Hall with Jackie and Gloria from JGB. Hornsby was here.
Hey, Tom, I missed that gig because I was at a Niner Viking playoff game at Candlestick Park. And I remember I was like, I wonder if the game is over in time, if maybe I could get in at the end, but it was too late. But I remember that gig very well because I could not attend.
Well, to go back, I mean, in 1974, there's a woman on stage with this band I'm seeing, and she's nailing it. And then it really kicked in '77 at Winterland. You know, nice mushroom buzz, lights behind her. And one of those 3 shows in March of '77, they did a Birth of Good Lovin'. And at that point in time, as Walton used to say, I'm with those guys. But she had the flowing dress and the beautiful hair. And it was like, I was so smitten. And I told her that the first time I met her. And she said, oh, that's so sweet. And pinched my chin and all this shit. But anyway, we forged a wonderful relationship. And in my time working for Grateful Dead Productions, you know, she would come out for events. We had when we did the closing of Winterland, when we dropped the DVD and the music, we had a big party at the Fillmore that I organized. And Donna and MG came for that. And so over the years, we just close, call on the phone, talk on the phone. And I spoke to her the day after her birthday, August 23rd. And she was holding up pretty good. And had no raspiness in her voice or anything. And it wasn't long thereafter, about 3 weeks thereafter, that it really hit her, this cancer. And she went up to Nashville for treatment and never came home. And I heard about it on my last beautiful night in Portugal this fall, after the most stunning sunset of my life. And then I get back to my place, a little condo I was staying in, and the phone lit up. And you know, we only have so much time. We don't all go at the same day, right? So it's we had almost a 2-hour conversation the day after her birthday. I had written her a love letter before that. She called me her boyfriend. If you ever met her anywhere out there, she'd say, Tom Stack's my boyfriend. And you just got to love up on people, man. You got to love up on these people. She needed the thanks. She was not, you know, she didn't get as much love. She did get her love upon her exit. The feedback online and everywhere was all so beautiful and touching and poignant. I loved it. And I've had a few chats with her husband since then. And he's really, really appreciative of that. So are her boys. And so I'm so grateful that I took that time after her birthday to, you know, my phone, while I was on the phone with her, I probably had to answer 7 calls after it, but I didn't care because I had her there. And now I don't. Yeah. And it wasn't a fanboy situation. It was 2 people talking.
I got you, man. Yeah.
Helping. 2 people loving, you know, 2 people sharing.
Yeah.
And, you know, Bobby had a lot of guys like that. And I hope they had a minute with him at the end, because he was a man's man. He was a dude's dude. And I hope that those Mill Valley dudes and all the Chief players, I hope they all got some time with him. And I'll find that out. But for me, Donna was my best friend in the band. And I've done a lot of shit with Billy. You know, I've gone down the Grand Canyon with Kreutzmann, with Walton. I went to the White House with Kreutzmann for Nicole's wedding. I mean, I've had big times with Kreutzmann, big times with Mickey, a few times with Jerry, all of them. But Donna was my best friend in that band. And the day that I was driving into the Fillmore for that Saturday for that BGP party. I popped the tunnel coming from the East Bay, and there is the view of Tam and the Bay and everything, and Sutro, and it was crystal clear day. And Gary Lambert on Sirius was playing "It Looks Like Rain," Paulie, from your place, the Cap Center, and I believe it was 73. Okay,
yeah.
And Weir was still here, as far as everybody knew, and they brought, if you any deadhead out there, find the Cap Center 73. My dead bases are holding up my computer here, so I can't tell you the date. But it's 73, and there's a "Looks Like Rain" in there, and those two brought it down to a whisper.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah.
And then it finished, and it was gorgeous, and our day was our day. And 2 hours later, everyone in the Fillmore in the dark lights is talking about Bobby leaving.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the last, shall I say, song I ever heard of Weir's while he was still on this planet.
I dig that.
Wow.
No, that's good.
And he did it, and he did it with Donna.
Yeah. See.
So
wow.
you only get so much, man.
That's it.
That's these people are all going. These people are all going. What's going to be next? What's the band going to do next? I'm like, give it a rest.
Yeah.
You should have had enough. This is enough. And wherever you are in Cincinnati or Denver or Miami or Boston, go support your local dead band and have a couple pops.
And go enjoy your life too, and get out of the house.
Your life.
Go enjoy your life. Enjoy the moment. I've learned that over the years too, Tom. It's not about staying home and being like, nah, I don't feel like go out, dude. Take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you. Become part of the scene. Whatever scene is the right scene for you. Dive into it head first. Yeah, make your own scene. DIY, baby.
But let's take any and all pressure off those guys. I mean, what's it going to be? Mickey's done. He's 82. He's got 30.
They've done enough. They've done enough. They've given us.
Mayor owns the name. Mayor has every right, with Irving Azoff, to take this band where he freaking wants to. Yeah. But who are they going to be?
Well, we'll see. We don't know what the future is going to bring. Whatever it brings, we'll see. Tony, get your final shot out there, man. Go.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Robert
Saleh. You said you had one last thing. So
I just want to know Tom's thoughts on Saleh, because Paulie and I aren't exactly thrilled with him leaving and thrilled with him just coming in for a year. And I don't know. I almost feel like
he's taking late night interviews, Tom, on Thursday before a Saturday divisional playoff game. Dude, cut the crap. He said he was going to interview on Sunday.
Yes.
And he didn't uphold that. He started taking meetings in the middle of the week.
And I didn't know that till you guys.
Yeah.
He's a bad mofo. You got to admit.
Right.
Yeah. And he's going to get his horses back. So, But I mean, he's doing the same damn thing. That's probably the only. He probably couldn't have gotten the Ravens job or those jobs. So he got a job with a 2-14 team or whatever.
Yeah, 3-14
again.
Yeah, I know.
So what the hell, dude?
Yeah, I know. What the hell? What the hell? Paulie,
leave it there. Stop right there.
But he probably tripled his income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No, of course.
And the last thing we got to know about sports or rock bands or you name it, they know more than we do about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He knew more than we did. He may have an update on Bosa's knee. He might have said, I'm getting while the getting's good. I don't feel like rebuilding this group again. I don't know.
No, he wants to be a head coach, man. Yeah. That's what they all aspire to be. All the assistants.
Well, triple his income. Look up what he's going to make versus a DC job.
And it's a very elite group, or it's a very exclusive group, I should say. Very exclusive, being part of the head coaching fraternity in the NFL. And, that's how he sees himself. And the Jets, I would not judge him by the Jets. Now we can really judge him, and we'll see what kind of head coach he's going to be.
And listen, the Nashville media is not going to hit him like this.
He'll be stroking that media. He'll be running that show down there, man. No question.
There's going to be some good clashes between the Jags and the Titans now twice a year as the coaches against his buddy Liam Cohen. Remember they got into it when the Jags played the Niners earlier this season.
Yeah.
So
and let's do one final thought. The next time the Niners go to Nashville, have you guys been to Nashville?
No.
I have not. I've always wanted to.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been once. I'm having a dry January. You're going to need a dry month before you go down there. But let's do a PMP road trip and charter something and go to Nashville.
I'm in. I'm in. That's how we.
That's a Niner trip.
I'm already in. You don't even have to twist my arm. I'm 100% committed. In.
If anybody needs to know why we love having Tom as a partner and a guest on this show, it's thinking like that. It's
I'm horny to tour. I'm always horny to tour, and let's tour with a team now, not a band.
Thanks for coming on today. Great to get to meet you publicly, formally with the audience. We'll start giving your spots on Thursday, and you're going to see Tom again. We'll have Tom back on in the future, but Tom, onward and upward. Thanks for joining the PMP family, and great talking to you today, brother.
That's awesome. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Cheers, everybody.
I'll be in touch. Peace.
Tom Stack, everybody. There he is, dude. And he can go all day. Obviously, he can go all day. But I'll treat you like a rock star. Says it all right there.
Yep. It's exactly what it's all about. Look at the music notes coming out of the houses, out of the roofs of the houses. It's pretty sweet. Paulie, that you guys were talking about the monks. Don, can I share something real quick? Don Peralta. He had this, he took this at the celebration of life on Saturday. And I thought I would just share it since Tom was saying that about the monks on stage. And I just want to make sure I do it justice here. Okay. Give it full screen. And just check this out, though. Don Peralta took this video and sent it. Here we go. How about that? So there you go. So that's some of the chanting of the monks, and like you said, like Tom said, you don't know what they're saying, but you don't need to know what they're saying.
Well,
right?
what happened was the monks came out, and one of the monks spoke in English, and he said that they met the Grateful Dead in the 80s and talked about his history with the Dead, and then he actually said, he goes, we happen to be part of the Grateful Dead. And everybody started cheering. And then he actually said, he goes, we're going to give our prayer in Tibetan, so you're not going to understand it, but we just want you guys to feel what we're going to say. And we certainly did. It was very powerful, really was powerful. And damn, man, it just stirs it all back up seeing that again. But the monks were great. Everybody was great. And thanks again to Tom Stack for not only coming on the show today, but being part of the PMP family. We'll talk more about his realty work with Coldwell Banker as we go forward. One of the old Club Dead shirts right there. Very nice. Very nice. Tony, if you're going to get graphics on the screen, why don't you get the Carlos De La Fuente graphics up? Because we owe Carlos a spot. So we're going to do a Carlos spot, then we're going to wrap. It's time for flex funding, kids. When Tom, you know what? It's going to be a great day when Tom meets Carlos and when Tom meets Dr. Young and Neil down at Longbridge. He's already met Dom, of course. But we got to get, and by the way, we already have an idea, Dom. We'll talk to you about the graphic idea we have for Tom Stack. So we got the calculator for Los D. We got the mouth for Dr. Young. We get the oven for the pizza place. And I have a great one. For Tom. So we'll talk offline, but we got some good ideas how you can showcase the visual. It's going to be a lot of fun. But Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding, listen, he's as upset as me, Tony, Tom Stack, Patty from Napa, you know what I mean? Don Peralta, anybody who's a 49er fan is still picking up the pieces after that game. And Carlos and I we've already had multiple conversations about it. Was not a great day for the Niner fans, but Carlos is great at what he does, which is handling any variety of money matters you might be faced with in your life. It might be a private money loan, might be time for you to talk, just have a conversation about a HELOC loan, home equity line of credit in the new year, anything to get money in your pocket through a challenging stretch. We've all been there. Nothing to feel bad about, nothing to feel embarrassed about. In fact, it's part of just being an adult. There will be times when you're strapped for cash. You need cash for a variety of reasons. And this is, again, guys like Tom Stack, 20 plus years of experience. Dr. Young, 25 years. Here comes Carlos, 26 years of experience. I like that when I'm dealing with my own money, my own finances. I want the guy on the other end of that business relationship. I don't want it to be his first rodeo. Like, yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. We'll see what happens. Like, I want a guy who says, I got this. Here's the best advice I can give you. And Carlos is like that. And again, we talk about maybe one of the most, for me, Tony, one of the most important attributes of Carlos is he will not let you do any self-inflicted damage. Like, if you have ideas about handling your money or moving your money into an area that Carlos looks at as a professional and says, that's not going to work for you, that's not a good idea, he will tell you that. And Tony, to me, that has more value than really so many other things out there because it's honesty. We're talking about integrity. We're talking about a man of his word. You know what I mean?
He'll take all calls on all types of loans and all types of questions. He'll explore. He'll get creative with you. He wants to make something happen for you. Also, we have many times referenced him as hashtag the one-stop shop, hashtag one-stop shop. That's because he can basically handle almost any type of loan. But he can also take care of like personal loans that have nothing to do with mortgages or loans attached to property. Loans ranging from $50,000 to $500,000. He can help you with for personal use, and they just need to be qualified via verified income and credit as an alternative to a mortgage. So he can do all of that, all of the above. And we've heard from many people in the PMP Familia, friends of mine down on the peninsula here in Belmont and San Carlos and Redwood City that I've worked with Carlos.
Yeah.
And Corinne just finished something with Carlos.
Jeff Faust. You know what I mean? Jeff Faust. I just saw him. He just popped up on the board too. Jeff is in the house. What's up, Fausty? And Jeff had a very positive experience with Carlos too. Just throwing that on the pile.
Everybody's had a positive experience with Carlos. Yeah. It's a prime example of why we partner with Carlos and why we partner with Tom and Neil Denardi and Dr. Young, Don Peralta, is because good people, right? They're good people at the core. Yes. At the core of it all, they're good people who care about people and care about taking care of people. So it goes back to Lawrence Welk.
Wow. What?
No.
Where and how and why? Where would that even come from? Seriously, what would make you be thinking Welk? Dude.
I've always thought of Lawrence Welk and Mr. Rogers as like the same person when I was a kid. So Mr. Rogers used to say, look for the helpers. And these guys are helpers. That's what they do for a career. That's what they do for their careers. They help other people. So that's why we love partnering with Carlos de la Fuente. 925-250-4894. 925-250-4894. Call Carlos. Get the vibe from Carlos. You can email him as well. Carlos at myflexnow.com. But we recommend you give him a call. Get in touch with us. Get the vibe and experience the Carlos de la Fuente love and vibe on the phone.
Thank you, Carlos. You're the freaking man, buddy. And Carlos he keeps it clean and G-rated when he's on the PMP show. When he's out there in the wild, watch out. He'll take some Fast and Furious. No, they really do. There's no filter on Carlos out there. And by the way, last thing I'm going to say today, and then Tony, take us home. And this is for you, Rags. Just had a quick Halloween idea for me and you next Halloween. Tony was just talking about Lawrence Welk. Here's the idea. You dress as Lawrence Welk. White fur coat, white suit, jewels on every finger, the chains and the whole attitude. And Rags, I'll be on your arm as your companion. I'll just be your companion. You know what I mean? Because that's how you can distinguish between Lawrence Welk and Mr. Rogers was just teaching us about the mailman. He's putting his shoes on and everything. Lawrence Welk, dude, that was a whole other kind of voyage he was on, and with the bubbles coming out and everything. But anyway, you are Welk. I'll be the companion. We'll be the talk of the party. Okay, Tony, we've done all we can do today. We'll come on back tomorrow night for the night flight. We'll set it up. We'll have a good time. And I'm trying to remember if there's anything we're forgetting that we're supposed to be teasing. Oh, KC, dude. I knew there was KC, our old buddy. If you remember the Murph and Mac show, and you used to enjoy KC from, I think he was originally KC from LA. If you remember KC from LA, I cut up all his sound bites and all that. The celebration in 2010 with the Giants. He now lives in Sacramento, and he is now a professional broadcaster. He does sports talk up in Sacramento. He's doing really well at it. He's going to join us tomorrow night. We'll talk some Niners with him. He is what's funny about KC? He's a Giants fan hardcore, Niner fan hardcore. hates the Warriors, loves the Kings.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Being up in Sacktown, I get it. So we can talk Kings. We can talk Kings dubs. Love KC. Excited for his hit, Paulie, tomorrow night. That'll be really fun because we've known KC for years, and he started as a caller, which is the best, and he's got personality.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best. KC
coming out of his pores. Paulie, as we say goodbye here, a final comedic note. I just want to follow up here as a final comedic note, and just to send everybody off on a funny vibe for the rest of the day, if you don't mind. Stand by. Oh! I gotta give volume. There we go.
Give me the slaps. Give them to me.
There we go. Here we go.
The whole thing. I mean, and you got this guy. Can you back it up a little bit? Maybe freeze it when she's got the head snapped back. I mean, it's like borderline violent. It's.
By the way, shout out Vince Fontaine. By the way,
Vince Fontaine, if I may, Tony, he's in the Epstein files. You know what I'm saying? He really is. When they finally,
by the way, there's Crater Face and Rizzo on the bottom right. Crater Face and Rizzo.
See, you can't blame me for thinking Crater Face was involved with the slaps. I knew he was nearby, and yes, you are going to find Vince Fontaine in the Epstein files. Tony, go ahead. Let's finish one more time.
There we go. See if we can pause it.
Yeah, this. Look at Fontaine right there. Right there. That says it all. Cha-cha is in the throes of ecstasy. You got Fontaine with a judging eye, and Kaniki with the hands, dude. The hands. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fontaine. All right, Tony, take us home. I'm out. Yeah, take us home.
That's all I got, man. So Cha-Cha, thank you, man. I'd love to see where Cha-Cha is today. We should maybe find out where Cha-Cha is and get her on the show.
I think Noemi had Cha-Cha info. Noemi, bring it back tomorrow night. I think she had updates on Cha-Cha. We'll get into that tomorrow.
Yes, and follower 795, perfect note to end on. I always was curious why Cha-Cha was 40 in high school.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you just kind of looked the other way on that one. She got held back a couple of years, I guess.
All right. Well, as we end the show, then let's just do this to end the show because why not?
The rules are there ain't no rules.
Business hours are over, baby. It's business. It's business time.
All right, y'all. Have a great Tuesday. Go Dubs. We'll see what life after Jimmy Butler looks like tonight. Toronto comes in. We'll be watching the Warriors, and we'll be back with all of y'all tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Wednesday Night Flight will be in full effect. And until then, everybody be cool, y'all. Cheers.
Take care, y'all. See you tomorrow night, 8 p.m.